Hi, friends. This is Pastor Young from Not Your Parents' Religion podcast, and I approve the following deep dive.
Ever notice how people kind of use the words prayer and meditation like they're the same thing?
Yeah, for sure. I get that.
It's a bit of a head scratcher. I mean, are they really interchangeable?
Right.
Well, today we're going to tackle that very question.
Sounds good.
We're diving deep into Pastor Robert Young's work.
Okay.
And specifically, he really digs into the whole Christian prayer versus Christian meditation thing.
Interesting. I'm curious to hear what he has to say about that.
Me too. I think this is going to be pretty enlightening for anyone, wanting to grow spiritually.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling of like not really knowing the difference or how to how to use each practice effectively.
Absolutely. So right off the bat, Pastor Young defines prayer as basically, a dialogue, like a real back and forth conversation with God.
That makes sense.
Active, pouring your heart out, asking for guidance, just, anything and everything you might want to share with God.
Yeah, like having that direct line, right? That feeling of reaching out and, actively engaging in a conversation. And it's that exchange that makes it so powerful. Like it's not just about, presenting your needs, but also being open to receiving guidance or wisdom in return.
Exactly. And that, he contrasts that with Christian meditation. And here the focus really shifts to quieting the mind and really, really listening to what God might be trying to tell us, often through his word.
It is interesting, though, because in our crazy busy world, right?
Yeah.
Finding that stillness, it's hard. It can be so incredibly challenging.
Oh, tell me about it. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Do you find that hard, quieting the mind thing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a constant practice, but it's in those quiet moments, I think, where we often gain the most profound insights.
That's so true. And does Pastor Young have any tips on actually achieving that stillness?
Right. He does touch on that. He really emphasizes that, Christian meditation is not about completely emptying your mind, but rather it's about focusing it on, scripture or specific spiritual truths. It's almost like shifting your attention away from that constant stream of thoughts and towards something, deeper, more meaningful.
Okay, so it's less about shutting off your brain completely and more about choosing what to focus on.
Exactly.
Okay, so would you say then that Pastor Young sees prayer as this active thing?
Yeah.
And then Christian meditation as more passive?
I think that's a really core distinction that he's making. Yeah, because prayer often comes from, a place of need maybe or desire. We're seeking help or offering thanks or asking for guidance, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But Christian meditation, at least as he describes it, is more about, going deeper, seeking that deeper understanding, growing spiritually, and aligning your will with God's will. It's about surrender and receptivity. So
then it seems like even the goals are kind of different. You know what I mean? Right. Like with prayer, you go in with a specific request or need.
Right.
But with Christian meditation, you're kind of opening yourself up to whatever wisdom or insight might come through.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes having both practices, incorporating both into your life is so valuable because they each have their own unique benefits.
Totally. And I think that's a super important takeaway for anyone listening, right? To kind of look at their own spiritual practices and be like, okay, which one am I leaning on more? Yeah. Is there a way to, incorporate the other one a little more intentionally?
It's a good point. And, just to bring it all together, I think the key takeaway here is that prayer and Christian meditation,
right,
while both powerful, in their own right, they do serve distinct purposes.
Absolutely. So we've talked about speaking to God through prayer and listening to him through meditation. Now, here's a little something to chew on.
Okay.
What if we approached our relationships with, other people in the same way?
Interesting.
What would it look like to really, truly listen with an open heart and to speak with, intention and love? I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to be thinking about that today.
Me too.
Hi, friend. This is Pastor Young again. I hope you enjoyed that deep dive. And if you need more information or clarification about anything that was discussed in this episode, please do not hesitate to get in contact with us, and all of the ways to get in contact with us in the description box below. So until next time, I am your host, Pastor Robert Young, and this is Not Your Parents' Religion, and may God bless you.